Okay, so Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League might be one of the very first cases of a game that left both reviewers and gamers cold before even being released. And when it did release, the problems just became even worse. Instead of being like the other Arkham games, where you actually feel like you're playing Batman, in Kill the Justice League, you kind of feel like you're playing Apex. What's the problem then? Is the IP just cursed? Not really. We just got to a point where no one is willing to put up with microtransaction bullshit and live service for games they pay full price for. It's live service games fatigue, baby.
Oh man, I have to pay a microtransaction to unlock.
And here's why it's happening with this game specifically. Rocksteady Studios is best known for its work on the Batman Arkham series. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, in a way, is a sequel to the Arkham games, a series developed by Rocksteady that features action-adventure masterpieces like Batman Arkham Asylum. And after releasing the last entry in 2015, Rocksteady spent the next 8 years developing a follow-up that would still be set in the same universe as the Arkham games, but with a pretty different focus. What happened though is that in 2022, the two co-founders Jamie Walker and Sefton Hill left the company to make their own studio. And yes, that was definitely a huge early red flag about this game. In fact, the rumors were true. 1 year later, it was confirmed that the game would have a battle pass, post-launch content, and it would be online only, even when playing single-player mode. Like, why? Then earlier this year, the previews rolled in, and the reception was not kind.
Why?
Because the single-player action-adventure game fans and reviewers were expecting had inexplicably changed direction and become something else, a live service game. Key features of live service games include multiplayer in small or large groups, a battle pass, and loads of microtransactions. But that's not all that Rocksteady changed from their usual formula. Previews and gameplay footage indicated that while the Suicide Squad had nifty traversal powers, each squad member's combat skill usually boiled down to gunplay with a different type of gun. In the Batman Arkham games, you felt like you were playing Batman. Hits were heavy, counters were impressive, and you could glide around dispensing justice just like in the comic books. In Suicide Squad, you feel like you're playing Apex. While Rocksteady has said it will later remove the online requirement for single player, it may be too little too late. So are people really sick of live service games? Because they're still quite popular. The answer is no, but only if we know what we're in for. Live service games require a lot of commitment. You gotta make sure you earn all the rewards on that battle pass. You paid for it after all. Logging in every day, doing missions, earning currencies, too much of that just ends up feeling like another job. But the problem also comes when a studio, known for excellent and groundbreaking single-player games with amazing storytelling, somehow gets roped into making a live service game. Then, after a period of underwhelming reviews, the game disappears from sale, and all that hard work from your favorite devs is gone. Sound familiar? Well, it happened with BioWare and Anthem. After a lukewarm launch and just 2 years of live service, they gave up on development. It happened with Crystal Dynamics and Marvel's Avengers. Now you can't even play that game anymore. It's been delisted from all digital storefronts. It happened with Arcane and Redfall, and the less said about Redfall, the better. So after all those failures and the resentment that this has created, we shouldn't be surprised that Suicide Squad got the initial reception it received. People are just tired of publishers forcing developers to make live service games at the expense of their favorite single-player IPs. Now, all that being said about Suicide Squad, Rocksteady still knows how to write a good story, and the characters in it seem pretty compelling. We even really like the combat. The change to guns hasn't turned Suicide Squad into another dumb shooter. Fights are aerial and explosive, demanding that you stay on the move and spot and deal with incoming threats a mile a minute. It's not as different from the Arkham games as you might think. But the question remains, is all the live service stuff adding anything to this experience? As Baldur's Gate 3 showed us, single-player, story-driven games aren't dead yet. Let's go back to those. Will you play Suicide Squad, or have the live service mechanics turned you off? Subscribe to our channel for more collections and perspectives on games that are really worth playing.